Well, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for joining today. We are going to be doing the third step in our 5 steps to get started with self-service. This is going to be step 3, creating your knowledge base articles. And if you missed any of the previous steps, those are going to be available to rewatch on YouTube. And if you'd like to continue with us in the series, we'll be continuing with step 4, test your setup and monitor performance next week on August 5th at the same time. Okay. So here's what we're going to review today. We'll go through some introductions so you know who your presenters are. We'll talk about what we're going to learn today. You'll see some helpful information and live demonstrations, and then we'll have time for questions at the end, and you can always drop your questions into the chat as well. All right, these are your presenters. So our team today will be myself, Ruby Leonard. I'm a CSM here at Zendesk, and we have Mike, who's going to be our managed services consultant, showing us our demonstrations today. So you got a good team. I enjoy helping customers understand their goals and align them to Zendesk solutions. I focus on scalable workflow design and product adoption and customer experience best practices to help people get the most out of the platform. And Mike is on our managed services team, and he likes connecting with customers to understand their unique use cases and tailor Zendesk solutions to help them get the most value out of their platform. Mike, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ruby. I've been at Zendesk for a little over 3.5 years now in the role. Again, just helping customers with hands-on configuration and best practices. So if they have questions about setting up certain features or new functionalities, that's where I can come in and help support.
Awesome. All right. So by the end of our session, you'll know how to choose the right topics for your articles using your own support data. Use Zendesk article editor to build clean, structured content. Write articles that are optimized for search, AI, and human readers, and set article settings for organizations and visibility. The goal is to help you create articles that directly reduce ticket volume and improve customer satisfaction. Okay. This session focuses on writing articles that truly help your customers. You'll learn how to identify the right topics by analyzing ticket data and other sources, create articles using the article editor and set up article settings, and use simple methods to organize and format articles for better readability and customer support. We have a demo account here. It's called Coffee & Co. So we'll be using that for our demonstration today. You can read here a little bit about Coffee & Co. It's a coffee supplier. So that is going to be the example instance that we're going to use today. So you'll be seeing Mike demo that. All right. We're going to start with picking your topics. How do you know what articles to publish? So identifying the right topics is a key step when you're creating useful articles. It helps you focus on what matters most to your customers by listening to their feedback and asking your agents about common issues that they face. By understanding these needs, you can create content that truly supports your users. To do this effectively, you can start reviewing categorized tickets, popular macros, common intents, and one-touch tickets. These tools help you pinpoint the main question and problems your customers bring to your support team. So review categorized tickets. Categorized tickets reflect issues or topics captured through custom fields, aiming to identify the primary ticket inquiries. Review popular macros. Use macros to identify common customer pain points, which can reduce ticket volume when documented in your knowledge base. So that way, rather than having to put in a macro while you're responding to a ticket, the knowledge base article already exists and might eliminate the interaction entirely. Review common intents. Use the intents dashboard to identify common topics your customers are asking about the most. And review common tickets. Identify recurring inquiries that were resolved in one touch and can be addressed through a knowledge base article. Please note there are many other ways to help you decide what topics to write about. The methods we're sharing here are just some effective options to get you started. So the visual here shows an example of articles organized to specific categories. You can achieve this by deciding which topics to write about first, using Zendesk tools and workflows to guide your choices. So what should you pick, or why should you pick topics before writing your Help Center articles? Well, you want to focus your efforts for better results. Choosing topics first helps you spend time on what matters most. By picking the right subjects, you avoid writing content no one needs and make sure your articles solve real customer problems. You reduce repetitive questions by spotting common issues from actual tickets and customer interactions. You can create helpful articles that give customers quick answers. This not only frees up your support team, but also helps users find solutions faster and feel confident. Keep your content organized and clear. Knowing your topics before writing lets you group related articles together. This makes your Help Center easier to navigate and helps customers find answers faster.
All right. So how do we use custom fields in order to pick your topics? So categorized tickets reflect issues or topics that are captured through custom fields. These custom fields allow you to collect information that's not collected by default. So the about field is a really good example of a custom field that provides important context about the customer's issue or request. So think of this as a drop down that helps customers identify and categorize your ticket's topic. It really answers the question, what is this ticket about? Why are they reaching out to get support? As a coffee company, this could be an example. Some of the options that could be an example of this custom field could be roasting or order quantity or quality, return or refund or more. And again, that would look as though a drop down. Adding a simple about field really lets you categorize these tickets effectively and gather more valuable data about the choices that will guide your help center topics. So please note that the about field is actually not a default field in Zendesk. That's one that is a custom field that we recommend all of our customers create as they're coming in and building out their Zendesk support structure. More information can be found about how to create these custom fields. Specifically, the about field can be found in our help center. So after the event, we'll share some documents on really how to create and edit and keep updating these about fields within your help center. How to pick macros. So again, we talked about macros as being an important way to help pick some of your topics as well. And your tickets have a really great source to find common customer issues. But keep in mind that macros often have a really good, most used way to see what's going on as well. So macros really give quick replies to frequent questions. So popular macros can really help reveal some of the common pain points that we see with customers. So you can do this by going into the top of the admin center, taking a look at the sidebar on the left-hand side and go into workspaces, agent tools, and then macros. I also use the search functionality in there, and if you just type in macros, it'll pop right up. So you can choose to sort this by a number of different ways. So you can look at the last 7 days, the last 24 hours, or the last 30 days to kind of give you that range. One call out that I like to make with my customers is that those are really the preset ranges that you can utilize within your help center, or excuse me, within your admin center. But if you do pull this information through the API, you can just pull it on only a 30-day window. So again, if you're looking to get a quarter's worth of data, you have to make that call every 30 days in order to really get that full set. But once you have that information from there, you can really review the most common or the most used macros and identify common issues and where to focus your content on where it matters most. So by documenting the topics covered in the macros in your knowledge base, you can really help reduce the number of tickets and help customers find those common answers faster. All right, and lastly is looking at the intent tab to help pick your topics. So the intent tab in your intelligent triage dashboard really helps you understand the types of issues that customers are reaching out about. It uses AI to analyze ticket content and categorize it by intent, giving you a really clear picture of the common themes and trends that your customers are reaching out about. So you'll see tickets enriched by AI intent, helping you understand what your customers are really looking for. Filters like group, brand, time range, channel, intent category, all these things really help you drill down into the specific area of interest that the customers are reaching out about. This data really helps you spot recurring questions and then identify those gaps that you might need to prioritize in topics for your audience. It also is a great way to uncover emerging issues and align your help center strategy with those real customer needs. One quick important note that we do want to call out is typically you need the Copilot add-on to access this feature. So it is a an added payment or an added feature that you would need to pay for. And then I do want to describe these two charts a little bit as they provide a little bit more context as to what you'd see with that Copilot feature, looking at intents. So you can see the one on the left is the intent trends. So you can really take a look at that top 15 intents over an extended period of time, and that's displaying like a line graph showing the top 15 over that window. And then intent breakdowns across key metrics. So this really displays the detailed information about your tickets with intents, including satisfaction score, sentiment rating, first reply time, and more. And you can click into these values and drill in to see the breakdown within those specific tickets as well.
Awesome. Well, now that you know what to write, let's talk about how to create your articles. The article editor is your main tool for creating clear and effective help center articles. It gives you everything you need to add and format content that helps your customers find answers quickly. By using the editor well, you can build a knowledge base that's easy to read and navigate. If you haven't already, we recommend switching to the new article editor to unlock more editing tools that will simplify and improve your article creation process. With the article editor, you can create articles in your knowledge base once you have at least one section set up. We discussed how to structure your Help Center content on the first event of this series, which you can go and rewatch if you missed that one. Keep an eye out for when we repeat that session too. We'll also send a video recording of the past events for reference. Guide admins and agents with permission can add content using the article editor. We discussed user roles and permissions during step 2, which focus on adding users and setting up your Help Center framework. A recording of that session will also be shared with you later. Format your content with available tools, then save and publish it when ready to share with your customers. This is what we will look at in this session. Some best practices. Leverage the article editor tools. Use the built-in formatting options like bold, lists, headings to make your content easy to scan. Take advantage of the table editor, image inserts, and video embeds to create rich, engaging articles. Include a concise summary at the top of the longer articles to give readers a quick preview of the content. This helps users decide if the article holds the answers they need without reading the full text. Use the improved source code to view and fine-tune your article's layout and fix any formatting issues. This control helps you maintain clean, well-structured content that works across devices. Always use the preview option to see how your article will look to customers. This helps catch formatting errors and ensures a polished final product before you publish. Why use the article editor tools and features? Well, you want to build clear and structured articles. The article editor gives you tools to organize your content with headings, lists, and more formatting tools, and this helps your readers understand your articles easily. Keep your tone consistent. The article editor has tools that help you maintain a consistent style and tone throughout your articles. This consistency makes your Help Center feel professional and trustworthy. Save, preview, and publish smoothly. The article editor helps you manage your content safely and efficiently throughout the process. Work on drafts, preview how articles will look, and publish only when you're ready.
All right, now we're going to hop into a live demo. So heading over to my other screen here, hopefully you can see it. Yep. the Coffee and Co instance. So what we're going to do here is create some articles. So creating articles is one of the core functions in really maintaining and managing your knowledge base. So guide admins can create articles at any time, while agents can do so if they have the appropriate management permissions. Just note that end users cannot contribute articles to the knowledge base. Just quick call out there. Before adding articles, make sure that you have at least one section up, since each article must be assigned to a section. In this demo, I'm going to walk you through how to create a new article and add content to it so you can start building out your knowledge base. All right, so we've hopped into our Coffee and Co instance here. And what we're going to do is open up our product tray on the right-hand side and go down to knowledge, formerly guide. You can still see that. Yep. Okay. So we can see that on our screen. And what we're going to do is go into our guide admin, or our knowledge admin, excuse me. And go ahead and take a look at this one, which we've kind of just started as a template. So we can use that, for the example of this one, we've got some unformatted articles that we're going to explore and play around with the functions of the knowledge toolbar here. So the first thing we want to start with is, a new title. So this one we're going to go ahead and call, how does Coffee and Co ship orders? So we're going to go to our title and replace it here. Okay, so we've updated that title. Next, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the text for shipping methods. So this one right here. And we're going to go ahead and just highlight this one and go into the toolbar here. And we're going to create this one as a heading 2 option. So this gives you a really clear understanding of, again, which size you want to do, whether it's very large, a little smaller, and so on. So we're going to do heading 2 for this one, which again keeps it pretty consistent with what we're seeing throughout the rest of our article. Under processing times, we're going to go ahead and highlight the text for 1 to 2 business days, because we really think that that's really important that our customers know. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure that we bold that. We can do that by doing the Control B function, but again, just showcasing the toolbar here. You can also just go in and press bold right there. And then under our estimated delivery times, as you can see, we've got a few different options here. So we're going to go ahead and make this a bulleted list, just to make it a little bit cleaner for end users taking a look at this article. Next, we want to go ahead and take a look at our shipping fee. As you can see, we have also a couple more instances here where we might want to kind of highlight what we're trying to showcase as really important text. So shipping costs, we're going to go ahead and underline calculated at checkout, because it really does depend on what the user is looking to buy. And again, we're going to go in here, but instead of doing bold, we're going to go to the underline feature. Okay, and then next, we're going to go into the need help. And if we need support on this one, we do want to give an option to actually contact support. So what we're going to do here is add a link to our help center. So what we're going to do here is contact our support team. We're going to go ahead and add a link to it. So as you can see, it's really straightforward to just go ahead and add that link right here. And we're going to go ahead and also just open this up in a new tab. So when we add that link, and we've got it right down here, and when we publish the article, you'll be able to open that in a new link. One other call out that I do want to make sure we talk about briefly is the ability to add images. So we do have the ability to add images in your help center. You can just go up to the toolbar up here and select add image. Once you're in here, you can load media in. As you can see, we did this beforehand to add just a couple of options here. So we're going to go down to coffee JPEG, and we're just going to insert that media. All right, so as you can see, we've got that here. We can go ahead and allow, you are able to add alternate text here. So you can change kind of the name of it. Really, this helps to convey the meaning of the image if you do need to change it. It can also be incredibly important for users who rely on screen readers. So definitely keep that in mind with your audience, that changing this up can help those users. Also to note that you can add a closed caption if you'd like as well. So again, just another option that you have if you're trying to give more information on the image that you're working with. All right, so when you're done or finished working on your article, so in this case, we're done with this one, you can go ahead and save, preview, or publish your article and add it to your help center. So for this example, we're going to go ahead and click save to save the article as a draft or a work in progress. So we can just go ahead and save. And then what we can do here is we can go ahead and click as a review. Well, that's looking at our review status, but we can also go ahead and just preview it over here. And this is exactly what we're going to see within our help center, right? So we see all the changes that we made, the new title, and some of the changes that we made as well. And then again, we've got it saved. So then what we can do here is just click on the arrow and go ahead and publish it as well. So now this has been published to our help center. That really wraps up the process of creating and publishing articles with just a few steps. Again, I highly recommend all my customers go in here and set up an article that's private and play around with it. Kind of the best thing you can do is just use these tools on a regular basis to really feel confident in the steps that you're taking with them. Again, with just a few of these short steps, we were able to build a helpful, well-structured knowledge base for your customers and team. We're going to keep on the same theme with our demo and kind of talk a little bit about how we enhance some of these articles. So using a lot of our AI tools, Zendesk includes several AI-powered tools to make it easier and faster to create helpful, high-quality content. So these features use generative AI by OpenAI's Enterprise GPT, allowing you to fine-tune writing directly within your article editor. So this is really neat. In this demo, we'll walk you through how to use the AI suggestions to expand, simplify, or adjust the tone of your content, whether you want to make it sound more friendly or more formal, kind of based on your brand and what type of tone you're trying to convey. So again, we're going to go back over to our article here. Same article that we were working on before. And let's go ahead and start with the expand option. So this feature really helps you to add more detail or context to your content, making it more informative and overall just complete. So what we're going to do here is highlight our first text. So we make sure, I'm not going to read this all to you, but we make sure that coffee arrives fresh and on time. And in this example, say, we want to go ahead and we're just going to highlight this text. And what we're going to do is go ahead to our enhanced writing tools. So right up here, and we're going to go ahead and expand it. So as you can see, this gave us the option to really expand on the content that we had already built, really conveying that if you need to build more detailed and explicit content, we have that ability to do that with our new tool. Again, it's adding more context or detail to the existing content that you have. It really makes it a little bit more informative and complete. You can also try again. So if you do want to try a different variation of that, you can go ahead and do that as many times as you need. And then ultimately you can just go ahead and replace that section as well. And as you can see, it really added that expand piece in here. Another option that we have is the simplify option. So this really helps make your content clearer and more concise by removing unnecessary complexity. So for this example, we're going to go into this piece here, the second piece on shipping methods. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to highlight this, and we're going to go ahead and go back up to our text editor, and we're going to go up to simplify. So again, same type of situation. Unfortunately, in this situation, I think it's already really, really short. So I think it ended up keeping the same text. But if we did want to go back and take a look at, say, this one that we had just expanded and we wanted to simplify it, it would give us a much more concise version of that. In this case, we're not gonna change any of that text. But again, if you want to simplify or enhance, you can keep trying again, and then ultimately replace that text if you would like as well. So now that we've seen those two features, let's move on to the summary feature. So this tool allows you to enter a prompt or a quick summary, and AI will generate a draft on that input, making it a lot easier to get started with article creation. So what we're going to do here is go ahead and click on the plus icon. And again, these are some of our AI tools right here, the pencil and then the plus. And we're just going to go ahead and select summary. So we're going to go ahead and say, we want to explain how Cafe Deluxe processes, packages, and ships coffee orders to customers. So that will be our prompt that we're going to go ahead and add as our summary. And then what we're going to do here is just click generate. So what this did was AI will really generate a summary based on a prompt that you entered and the existing article content. So it's really important to know that if you have that Copilot add-on, you will be able to generate the article summary using AI. Otherwise, you can just type your summary into the text box. And then again, you can go ahead and just click save here as well. So the summary feature really helps you get a solid draft started quickly, saving time and making sure article creation is more efficient. Once you have the article, once the article is ready to go, the next step is making it accessible to a broader audience. So let's go ahead and see how you can translate that content directly in the editor using Zendesk's built-in AI translation tool. All right, so in this case, we're going to go over to our side panel. And if we go to the little globe here, you can go ahead and take a look at the translations piece. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to add a new language here. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and add French. Let's add. So what this is doing here is it's actually using AI to generate a version of that article. So if we go ahead and we translate, what it's doing is just live translating this function of how does Coffee & Co. ship their orders. Again, still working on it. And then what we can go ahead and do is add that translation. And as you can see, we've got it. And then what we can go ahead and do is save and publish. So now if we go back to the Help Center, and click on the article and click on how does Coffee & Co. Let me see if I can find this. Back here again. We have the French version right down here as well. Perfect. So that's how you can easily translate your articles using AI, making it your help center a lot more accessible for a global audience without the need for manual translation work. I know with a lot of my customers, the old way of doing it was copying everything, bringing it over to Google Translate, and then bringing it back over, which is kind of a painful experience for everybody. So this new tool is really really helpful in order to make that a lot less painful. So these AI powered tools will really help you create high quality help center content faster and more efficient, whether you're drafting these from scratch or refining your tone or trying to change up into a more global audience. These features really help make the process a lot smoother and for sure more scalable. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our presentation here and continue on.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Now we're going to talk about writing effective articles. Writing effective articles for self-service. So we want clear and well-written articles because it makes it easier for your customers to solve their problems without extra support. And that's the ultimate goal of all of this, is to alleviate ticket burden by making sure they're able to access reliable knowledge. When your content communicates effectively, it minimizes the need for additional support and creates a smoother experience for everyone involved. Here's some helpful tips that our team at Zendesk uses to create our help center content. Use customer words in titles. Write titles using words your customers actually use. This makes your articles easier to find in search and feels natural to users. So start titles with I, my, or mine to match how customers ask questions. For example, instead of how to order wholesale coffee beans, use how can I order coffee beans for my cafe? Keep your language clear and simple. Write short sentences with a clear subject, verb, and object. Use simple words and active voice to make instructions direct and easy to follow. Avoid jargon, complex phrases, or long sentences. For example, instead of saying, customers who purchase coffee in bulk may experience shipping delays due to external factors, say, shipping for bulk coffee orders might take longer because of delivery delays. Match headers to content. Make sure each heading correctly describes the text that follows. If your heading is a question, answer that exact question below. This keeps the article focused and users quickly find what they need. For example, if your header is, how do I track my coffee bean shipment? Your content must explain exactly how customers can track their shipment using Cold Coffee & Co.'s tracking system. Avoid adding unrelated info like payment methods under this header. Use the imperative tone in instructions. Give direct commands in your steps. Avoid adding extra words that can confuse or slow down the reader. This makes instructions clear and easy to scan. For example, instead of saying, you will want to check your invoice for payment details, say, check your invoice for payment details. This makes this step clear and direct to your customers. Link to helpful articles. Add helpful links per article to guide users to more information. Use meaningful anchor text that fits smoothly in the same sentence and avoid overloading articles with too many links. For example, in an article about ordering coffee beans, add, for information about shipping options, see the article Shipping and Delivery at Cold Coffee & Co. Use meaningful links to guide customers without overwhelming them. Optimizing your content for AI. Once you identify the issues you need to document, you can either write articles from scratch, create articles from tickets, or use generative AI to expand articles based on minimal bullet lists or notes. No matter how you create articles, you can use these simple strategies to optimize the content and create AI-ready articles in your help center. Use clear and consistent titles and content. Write titles and headings that clearly describe what the article is about. Make sure your titles are easy to understand and follow a similar style across your articles. Clear and consistent titles help AI recognize topics and improve search results. Structure your article content for clarity. Use bullet points or numbered lists to organize steps or important facts. Break down information into simple parts to help users find and follow it easily. Consistent formatting makes it easier for AI to read and categorize your content correctly. Use images and videos carefully. While it's a good idea to enhance articles with images, diagrams, or screenshots to clarify concepts and improve comprehension for users reading articles to your Help Center, keep in mind that images and videos are not used by AI. When using images, always use the alt tag and try not to use multimedia as a substitute for text. Focus on one main idea per article. Keep each article focused on a single question or topic. Use concise titles that reflect the main idea using phrases customers actually search for. Clear focus helps AI correctly index your articles and improve their relevance in search results or chatbots. This also prevents confusion for users and AI alike. And keep it simple and short. Use straightforward language with short answers and a clear structure. Avoid jargon or complex phrasing that help AI process your content easily. Simple writing helps AI extract key information and improves translation and search accuracy. This way, your content performs better across all AI tools and platforms. Optimizing your content for search. Optimizing your content for search helps users find the answers they need faster. When your articles rank higher in search results, you boost engagement and make your Help Center more effective. There are many ways to optimize your search, but here are some key best practices to help you get started. Create original, high-quality content. Your site's content should be unique, specific, and high quality. If it is, users are more likely to stay on the page and link to it or your Help Center, thus improving your Google ranking. Use structured templates such as Q&A articles. Templates allow search engines to more easily crawl through content and understand the structure of your Help Center's answers to common questions. Avoid keyword surfing or stuffing. This can actually harm your Google ranking. Google recommends that you focus on creating useful, information-rich content that uses keywords appropriately and in context. Choose a title that concisely describes your content. The title is the most prominent piece of information in the search results. It's often what people use to decide whether to click the link or to move on. And look at numbers and track your impact. Use Google Analytics with your Help Center to gather and analyze information about your visitors and your content. We have an article that outlines steps to do this, which we'll share with you later. All right. Why does writing clear and user-friendly articles matter in your self-service? Will build trust and improve customer satisfaction. Well-written articles follow standards that keep your knowledge base organized and easy to update. This ensures your content grows in your business without becoming confusing or outdated. It reduces your support tickets. Helpful articles cut down the number of support requests your team will handle. Writing clearly means fewer customer questions, freeing your agents to focus on more complex issues, and support scalability and efficient content management. Well-written articles follow standards that keep your knowledge base organized and easy to update. This ensures that your content grows with your business without becoming confusing or outdated. All right, and setting up article settings. Before you save and publish your article, it's important to configure settings and control how your content functions and who can access it. Taking the time to set those options helps you keep your content organized and reach the right audience. When configuring your article settings, prioritize setting up your viewing and management permissions. So we talked about these settings in our last session about adding users and creating your Help Center framework. Like we mentioned earlier, resources to access the previous events will be sent to you. Add your articles to sections that best match their content to ensure they are easy to find. Place each article in the most relevant sections of your Help Center. This helps customers quickly locate the information they need without confusion. You can add the article to multiple sections if it fits different topics or brands. Use the promote option to feature key articles in their sections. Highlight important or frequently used articles by promoting them within their sections. This draws attention to the critical content and makes sure users see it first when browsing. Add labels that match your articles. They help people find it faster and keep your Help Center neat. Apply clear and relevant labels that describe your article's main topics. Labels improve search accuracy and enable users to filter content easily, creating a smoother browsing experience. Turn comments on or off based on whether you want user feedback. Decide if you want users to share their thoughts or questions on the article by enabling comments. If you prefer to keep the content static or avoid unnecessary feedback, turn comments off.
All right, so let's hop into another live demo of how to configure article settings. So to complete an article, you'll really need to configure key settings like management permissions and article placement. You can also choose to add labels, content tags, or enable comments, as Ruby had mentioned, to support organization and engagement. So in this demo, we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to configure some of those management permissions, set article placement, and apply optional settings like labels and comments before going ahead and publishing here. So we're going to hop back to our page here and go ahead to our article on how does Coffee & Co. ship orders. So in this example, we're going to go ahead and click the article settings. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and click the placement settings. So in this one, we're going to go ahead and click the manage sections. So this is going to allow us to choose where we want this article to be placed. So this example, we're going to go ahead and go into general, and we're going to keep it in FAQ, which it looks like it's already there. So we're going to go ahead and click OK, we're done. Once this section is selected, your article will be properly placed within your Help Center structure, making it a lot easier for users to find. Let's move on to the author field, which controls whose name is displayed in the article's creator. For this article, we won't be changing the author, that's me. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of those viewing permissions. Again, this is really important to decide who can have access to view this article. For this example, we want to make this setup for everybody to be visible. So not just agents and admins, but instead visible to everyone. All right, so once we have that, within those viewing permissions configured, the article is now set to be accessible to the right audience. Let's go ahead now and highlight some of the additional settings that can help enhance the article. These include things like labels, promote, and comment options. While we won't be making any changes in this demo, it's important to really understand, what the purpose of these settings are and obviously where we can find them, right? So labels, as you can see right here, really help improve search relevance and influence bot-powered recommendations. So definitely recommend that to most of my customers if they're utilizing AI to include those labels. Promoting an article gives it higher visibility by placing it to the top of its section. So to promote an article in its section, you would just select this option to promote the article, which again is going to bring it to the top of its section and really highlight it. I think they put a star right next to it as well. And then lastly on this one is the comments section really allows you to choose whether users can leave feedback on the article. Again, to choose this for the articles, you can just choose this little button here to turn on comments or turn off comments. Again, these options give you a lot greater control of how articles are discovered and how they're interacted with within your Help Center. Now that we've reviewed these key article settings, you can see how each one really helps shape the visibility, ownership, and the engagement of the content that you have in your Help Center. These settings really help ensure that your articles are properly organized, accessible to the right audience, and obviously aligned to your overall company and Help Center goals. So we'll go ahead and step back into the presentation quick.
Awesome. Well, now you know how to pick the right topics that matter most to your customers and team. how to create clear and easy to read articles using the article editor, how to write effective articles that use customer words, simple language, and clear instructions, how to set up article settings to control access, placement, and user interaction. And yeah, learned a lot today. So that's our session today. Up next, test your setup and monitor your performance. That'll be happening on August 5th. You can sign up the same way you signed up for this session. And to view previous sessions, we will be giving you access to those and sending out some links. Okay, we do have some time for questions, so we'd love to hear any questions that you got. I think I saw some in the chat.
Yes, we do have several. So Reynard is asking us, are there any AI tools to help or automate categorizing tickets into clusters besides custom fields?
So we've got the intent functions that can really pick up what customers are reaching out about. So that's a really good way to do this. Again, you can also kind of look at within your help center if you've got tags or specific triggers that are firing based on the interaction that you're having. But overall, I think the direction of moving towards more AI is our intent features, right? So it's picking up what is the customer reaching out about, and ultimately, like, how can we route it to that team directly? So hopefully that kind of helps. But intents is ultimately the way that a lot of this AI work is moving. I don't know if you have anything to add, Ruby, but
Nope.
Okay, awesome. So Krista's also asking, any guidance on using labels to help surface articles with AI fonts?
yeah, and I'm taking a look at that question too. I mean, I again, I would keep labels really brief. You don't want lengthy labels, but if you have short and concise ones, it can help promote and again, like surface your article, especially with search. I don't know if I have specific like feedback. I guess it kind of depends on the circumstances. If you're finding that specific articles aren't um, being populated as easily as they should, or search results aren't coming up with the article that you'd recommend, I'd first start with the title and ensure that the title is really important because I do believe that that's weighed more heavily than labels. So again, I'd start with the title and then I would take a look at labels to see if there's anything you can clean up there. I don't know, Ruby, if you have anything else you'd add on that front.
That sounds perfect. I completely agree.
Thank you for the question, though.
Awesome. Another one from Krista too. Does the Zendesk AI bots agent speak up on any of the text formatting demoed on and weight that differently?
No, it's a very good question. I believe it's the first 45 words are weighed more heavily in an article than the rest of it. So again, it's really important, especially that simplify feature that I called out is extremely important to keep in mind. Be concise, be directly to the point. It's better to have 50 articles that are very short and concise than 5 articles that have 10 different questions that they're answering in each, right? Because the AI doesn't know exactly what it wants to serve up. But if it's really concise and direct, and that goes to your title, your labels, and obviously your content, that's like the most important part, I would say. So, somewhat to your question, like, yes, there is some weight into it, and it's really has to do with the first like section of your article weighs more heavily than others.
Awesome. So Amanda asked us, is there a way to add any constraints or specific voice or tone requirements to the AI feature?
There is within your Zendesk help center. So, or not within your help center, excuse me, your knowledge base. No, not your knowledge base. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. Your admin center. So, within your admin center, if you're publishing a bot, you can decide to make your tone of your bot a specific way, whether that's more friendly, enthusiastic, more formal. So you can do that. I am not sure if there's a way to do it directly for articles. So I think Ruby had touched on it really well, but keeping it as either a statement or a question is always something I tell my customers. So it's either how to reset my password or how do I reset my password is the title. And then I would keep it consistent across the board with each one of your articles. So if we're going with the question format, I would have the question format for each one of my articles, especially if you're looking at like an FAQ page, like each one should be a question.
Awesome, tons of questions here. So Wendy's asking us, if you update the ENG copy, will the French version auto update?
If you update the article, will the French one automatically update? Is that the question?
It says the copy.
I think so. I think it's talking about the language. The original in English is updated. Will the French automatically be updated as well?
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm happy to follow up, or our team is happy to follow up on that one. It is a newer feature with that translation function, so we can definitely circle back on that, Wendy.
Awesome. Richard asked us, do labels help the AI tool in messaging locate appropriate articles and serve them up?
Yes, they do, but again, I lean more on the weight of these is typically the title weighs more than the label. So again, keep in mind that if you're having problems with things surfacing, I would start with the title, start with the body, and then use labels as like another lever you can kind of push in order to surface those articles. But yes, they are utilized in surfacing some of these articles.
Awesome. And he's also asking us like the difference between tags and labels.
No, that's a good question. I don't typically have my customers use the contact tags because I just know labels are more powerful. But that's another one we can send you the formal definitions and see what would best fit your needs, Richard.
Okay. So if you guys don't have any more questions, oh, Reynard, okay, just giving us things. Okay, awesome. So thank you everyone for your attention so far, and thank you so much. It has been awesome. Mike, Ruby, it has been great. We're gonna end us more at the end. We're gonna send a summary with the recording and the decks and any useful links, so you can check it out. And thank you so much for everything. It has been great. And please feel free to sign up to our next steps. Step 4, test your setup and monitor performance. And step 5, optimize your help center and plan ongoing maintenance. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. We're gonna.
Thanks, everybody.
2 minutes.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you hopping on.